Yo, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the SBP. As always, I'm your boy Prime. Source was good.
What's going on, Prime? How you feeling, man?
Another day, man. Kind of tired for some reason, but it's been a long week, but it is another day. So I guess I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. I hear that. Still breathing. Still here to kick it on the Sunday with the NFL and the SBP. So can't all be bad.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. Looks like it's a nice day. See you out there, man. How you feel outside?
It's not bad. It's a little chilly, a little bit. Not too bad though. Probably 50s.
Like
Probably
50.
50.
Got you. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It looks nice out there. I'm peeking out of the window, man. It looks real nice out there. So feel like my type of weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how you week, man? What you been up to?
Oh man. What have I been up to? I don't even know, Prime. The week work, work, and more work. But I did a live interview Wednesday with
Mhm.
singer-songwriter Brady Turner,
Got you.
and that was dope. So had a good time with that, and I mean, so much going on, but nothing going on. To be honest,
So much, but nothing.
yeah, a whole lot of nothing. Look, when it turned into a check, then it's something, but a whole lot of nothing right now.
Word up, man. Same here, same here. I've been on the grind all week, man. All week. Hard, man. But it's probably why I'm so tired, man. I went a little harder this week than normal.
Yeah,
Just one of them weeks, one thing after another, visitors in town, things like that. So hey, but it's the job.
indeed, indeed.
Yeah, man. So a lot of stuff popping off, man, in the sports world, of course. We're here to talk some football amongst other things, man. And hey, it's just a big day, man. And it's only right when we start with the news that everybody's already gotten. It's been well publicized across social media, TV, of course, inside the SBP, of course. And that is in the NFL, right? In the NFL, we had a couple of big trades go down.
Hmm.
And we saw the New York Jets acquire one of the best wide receivers in the game in Davante Adams. And of course, the Buffalo Bills acquiring Amari Cooper, man. So that's been everywhere. I think a lot of folks saw the Davante Adams thing coming, but the Amari Cooper thing was a little bit different, even though we know he might get traded. But I don't think many people had Buffalo pinned as the destination, man. There was a lot of talk of, there were some talks there that Tennessee was looking to add. There were some talks of reuniting with the Dallas Cowboys, and then I saw some things in some circles with the Washington Commanders where they were looking to add a wide receiver, and supposedly both of these receivers were actually on their list, man. What do you think about these trades, man?
Man, I really didn't even know that Amari was being considered, or the rumors were out there that Amari was being considered by most of the teams you just named, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So when he popped up in Buffalo, I mean, it made sense. That man, that man probably couldn't wait, dog. He probably couldn't. He's like, Lord, please get me out here. Please get me out of here. I don't know Amari personally, obviously, and I really don't know that much about him as a person. But I'd imagine,
I'll slide his number to you when the show over.
word, I'd imagine that he has not been thrilled with the off the field drama that has taken place in Cleveland. Not only the on the field stuff, because they actually didn't finish bad last year,
Right.
um, but really the off the field stuff. I for whatever reason he strikes me as a person that probably was not feeling any of that, and ain't want no positive because he don't really talk too much. Like from what I've seen him, he don't really talk a lot. So that's my guess uh, on his opinion of that. But just the losing and wanting to win now, ain't getting no younger. We ain't getting no younger, baby. All that, and to go to Buffalo, a place that has been in recent history in the running for getting to the bowl game, getting to the big game at a lot of different points, and with them losing Diggs, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's a positive or a negative, losing Diggs and pretty much that lead receiver, that number one option spot has been open this season. It's kind of wide open. So him sliding into that spot is probably great for Josh Allen as it is great for him.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Davante, like, you know, what you gonna do? The interesting part, it's not even about Davante. Like, of course he's gonna do what he's gonna do on the field. I'm not even worried about that. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be happy, but um, the question becomes the other pieces. Garrett Wilson's was just getting into that I am the guy mode, and A-Rod was hitting them on a regular basis in the last couple games, like at least targeting him on a regular basis the last couple games. So that's definitely falling off. Not tomorrow, but today, immediately, immediately. So how does he deal with that? That drops Lazard to the third receiver. That drops Mike Williams. Boy, I mean, who knows how
On
that
another team.
who knows how that relationship was going anyway. Uh, and then for what we heard from A-Rod, which I have a different perspective of his comments about that last play. But anyway, Devontae is gonna get busy. If he's healthy, he gonna do numbers just like they never lost a beat. He gonna do numbers off rip. And Amari, I don't know if he's gonna do numbers, but he's definitely gonna get a lot of targets, and it's gonna open up that Buffalo offense.
Yeah, man. I think Davante is set to get busy immediately. Immediately. Just don't have time to waste for anything else, man. They're sitting there at 2-4 right now. They have to get a spark going in this team. And of course, him reuniting with his good buddy Aaron Rodgers does wonders for the inability of the Jets offensive line to keeping Aaron Rodgers off the ground.
Right.
Because once they reestablish that connection, which I don't think will take long, we were used to seeing Davante Adams turn around and the ball being there. Like Aaron throw the ball before Davante was even looking for it. They had that connection. They had that connection. Whereas he knew I gotta shorten this route. I gotta make this quick. I gotta change this so he can get the ball out of his hands. And you mentioned Lazard going to the third receiver. And that's a good thing because he's been shining. He's been their best receiver, through the first 6 weeks of the season and finding his way to the end zone. So if he can be becoming your third receiver, I mean, how bad could that be? And
He gonna have crazy matchups.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I wouldn't be surprised here within the next 4 to 5 weeks if they stay healthy, that we still get a couple of 2-touchdown Alan Lazard games now. Because he's gonna have less attention. He's gonna have that one matchup that he probably can beat and take advantage of.
Yep.
And then it also leads into the Garrett Wilson conversation because from what I was seeing, that there were a ton of teams out there looking to see if Garrett Wilson would be available in a trade. Now, if you're the Jets, I don't know why you do that. Because look, how long is Aaron Rodgers playing? Because the conversation that folks have had, Davante always kicks around until he gets what he wants. He wanted to get over there with his boy, with the Raiders. Then he was gone. Now he's gone. And he wants to get over here with the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. How long is Aaron Rodgers playing now? We can assume, I'm pretty sure, is this year and probably next year, I would think.
Yeah.
And then what situation are you in? So you're the Jets. You have the opportunity to take advantage of this situation and keep one of your young guys. I don't think the Jets, I'm even entertaining getting rid of Garrett Wilson just because I got Davante and Allen has been, so productive. Unless I've got to get the blockbuster deal to where you're getting me probably an all-pro offensive lineman. And I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it then. And that's the only way I'm going to think about it, And I don't know if I'm doing it then, but I'm definitely going to think about it. But man, this three-headed monster will open up some things. And as I've said, week after week in the running game, that's not there yet. And we've seen flashes. I think when they got to start respecting three guys out there, that loosens some things up, and we can see Brees Hall and Braylon Allen get busy some weeks, you know?
Do you think just immediately this is the best three wide receivers, like wide receiver core?
No.
Second best?
I say that if so, now granted, if when all parties are on the field, because there are some issues there right now, but I look at the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
And I think that Houston Texans trio is crazy, even though Tank Dell, until last week when the opportunity presented itself, hadn't really gotten busy. He had been hurt. He got injured. And now Nico is out. You know, Nico went out. But when you got Nico, Diggs, and Tank Dell, right off top, to me, that is the best receiving core. Then when we get after that, it's nobody else that totally jumps out as a trio. That totally jumps out. There's some doubles, but as a trio, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. As a team that's gonna pop in my head a little bit,
Probably
but automatically for me it's the Texans. So right now, as I'm thinking maybe the Jets are number 2.
So above Devo, Ayuk, and Jennings. Yeah.
Yes. Jennings ain't. Hey JB, what's up, dog? Jennings really got busy in the weeks when the time presented itself and everybody was hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much have we seen him? And not matter of fact, I think he's out today, I believe, but not taking that away from him but my thing is, how much have we seen of him get busy, right? So no, I'm putting the Jets above them. So Cincinnati don't really have a trio no more. They got doubles.
Right.
Seattle could. We could be talking about Seattle at some point as one of those folks. I'm not ready to put them there yet.
Right.
You know, and Jigba has shown those weeks that he could actually be that guy, but then, you know how Geno in them roles. So
if Dotson would have come over and been the Dotson that I would have hoped for, maybe in the conversation.
But still time. It's only he's going into week 7. We're in week 7 now, so
True.
It's still time. There's still time. I mean, right now they're my number 2 off top. Now the Amari thing is very interesting because I don't know if you saw video I put over on TikTok immediately after this went down, but you think about the Buffalo Bills right now. You're talking about circling the wagons at the end of the year. They're circling the wagons right now. Sitting at 4-2. They do have a bad loss in there, but they're sitting there on top of their division. And a majority of the folks that tell you that at this point they definitely expected them to be there through all their losses would be lying. You know, they'll be lying that, they would wait for this team to fall, and they still could. But you think about Josh Allen has got this done with Mac Hollins, Khalil Shakir, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who they just let go when they brought Amari Cooper over, and the young rookie Keon Coleman. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're bringing in an Amari Cooper, an established route runner, a veteran. He like I said, he can run every route in the route tree, and he may or may not talk so much, but the mentorship to a guy like Keon Coleman is invaluable. True. And we know how Josh Allen loves to throw the football deep. And if there's a guy who loves getting that one-on-one matchup or running that route that jabs in, pulls the safety down, and he's just one-on-one with that corner, it's a beautiful thing if you ever seen. It's only certain people can do that. Mari, one of them dudes. It's funny. I've seen him take so many nickels or safeties out of a play when they go back and show the big pickup by him on a replay, and he's just with that one corner because of the move he made earlier. It's crazy. Josh Allen is going to love him. So I think this is a big plus. So I'm gonna say it again. they've got issues on that team still. They haven't totally, there's a piece or two in the old line can still be had. The defense is not what it was. But still, they coming. They coming. They just got to win the division, and they in perfect position to do that. So the Bills coming, bro. They ain't dead yet.
It's gonna be fun to the end of the season to see these two combinations develop and see how they rock throughout the season. The one thing I did want to say is everybody. First of all, Aaron Rodgers he threw his teammate under the bus. Yes, I'll say yes, but it was calculated. No, I shouldn't say it was. If Aaron Rodgers was being honest and he told me it was calculated, I would totally understand. If I'm looking at my guy, Davante Adams, and we should have pulled the trigger already on this thing, and y'all kind of wavering, it seems, going into this game, we go through this game, and there's something that a receiver did that I can say, I know Davante wouldn't have done that. If Davante was out here, we wouldn't have had to worry about that happening. This is a perfect example. Plus, if you have no relationship with Mike Williams, you're not worried about him one way or the other.
True.
He just, unfortunately, is the guy that got the bad end of the stick. But it's like selling the point. He sold the point. I'm not saying it was right, but I understand.
But it's Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
And that's gonna be funny because I mentioned it while you were talking earlier, but look out for Mike Williams possibly being moved within the next week or so.
Yeah.
Within the next week or two. And there's going to be teams you're going to hear. There's going to be, Pittsburgh Steelers come to mind for me. They immediately. We're hearing that there's some other teams that are not trying to jump the gun and don't want to spend a lot of money, but would be open to adding another receiver. One of them would be like Arizona. So Arizona's talking about it. I saw one of the things over in LA, the Chargers. The Chargers possibly could actually bring him back. It's a lot of stuff out there, but I definitely Steelers will be one of the first teams I'm thinking about. They may be looking to add another receiver. I was thinking about this thing with Amari Cooper too. You talking about like happy than a kid on his birthday. You can see him sitting there with a big old cake. Think about him coming over here to play with Josh Allen after playing with a quarterback who was not thrown for 200 yards in a game this year. Not thrown for 200 yards in a game this year. You don't have to worry about that.
You got to worry about that. Oh, you're going to get opportunities. One thing you're going to get is some opportunities, whether they're for the better or the worst in the moment. But yes, you'll get your chances.
So we look at what team benefited the most. I think they benefited equally because I think and all the things that we named, of course, with the Aaron Rodgers and Davante, it's no more looking back at this point. You can't afford to fall back any further than you've fallen, and you bringing in a much needed piece that, like I say, further enhances the receiving core and helps the offensive line. And even when they get in those games when the defense plays well, but just can't hold on because the Jets can't get that one extra score. There you go, right there. There you go, right there. And then for Buffalo, like I say, they're already in first place. They're already in a good spot, and you're just adding. And by the same token, you play some of these tough AFC matchups, whereas you're not actually lighting it up like you do some weeks, and you need that one extra touchdown or maybe that one extra move to get you in the field goal range to win the close games, especially as his weather turns colder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amari not going to be worried about playing the cold, man. You know what I'm saying? The man, but in Cleveland.
Right.
He worried about the cold, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those days of, playing with the Raiders, out there in the sun and in the friendly confines of AT&T Stadium, they done. That man ain't been in Cleveland. So when we're talking about we get in playoff time, you need that play, and that weather not going to affect him. There goes Amari right there, bro. And Dalton Kincaid too, bro, because I thought Dalton Kincaid would explode this year. He hasn't quite yet. But what I've noticed is with the lack of the respect for the Buffalo Bills wide receivers. I've seen a ton of plays where Dalton Kincaid getting doubled. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
doubled the tight end, not named Travis Kelce
Right.
or George Kittle. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's going to open this man up, and I fully expect him to start getting in the end zone. I think he got 1 touchdown this year, I believe. Yeah, I expect him to start getting in the end zone now because somebody got to be taken out of that play.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Starting no, Buffalo don't play today. Right?
Yes, they do. They play the Titans, which is
at the crib.
always, which is funny you say that because a lot of those games when they play are interesting. No matter what the records are, it's in. Now in that game, I do believe Will Levis has been benched. I don't know if it was because of injury or they just benching him. But I think Mason Rudolph is going to play. Is going to start. So
that's wow.
Yeah. So they're going to have to rely on Tony Pollard, who's been pretty darn good, I might say, for them. And that defense, I think they have allowed what did I see? I saw something. I think the Tennessee defense is allowing the least amount of yards per game, I believe. They're doing something good defensively. I'm going to put it to you that way. So that's something they do. Yeah, they're doing something.
That's all right.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to watch, see how both of these trades affect these teams and the teams around them.
Yeah,
moving on. As we go down the line here. Quickly, did you happen to see that dud of a Thursday night football game?
I saw more of it than I wanted to, and I didn't even see the whole game. But I saw more of it than I wanted to. That game was not good. It was not an entertaining game. And you can't even say, "Oh, the defense." It wasn't even like. It didn't even feel like that. It just felt like, no. It just felt like no.
Hey, imagine being the Saints, and you realize you go into this bad boy. You're already down your quarterback, and then both your starting wide receivers are out, and then you get the terrible news that your most productive receiver of the season is out for the year.
Yeah,
and you're going into this matchup. And if it's one person, what you say?
I said it ain't pretty. I was about to say, and you got to face former coach. I don't know what his real relationship is with the city of New Orleans or the team, and you're facing former Super Bowl champion coach of your team, Sean Payton.
Man, that thing, man, he goes back there and put the beat down on his former team. And now it gives him, he now has a win. Going back to beat his old team who he couldn't beat because he was the coach. He is now beating every franchise in the National Football League as a head coach.
Gotta respect it.
That's wild. That is wild. The one thing I did come away with in this football game, no sources, I will say that this kid right here, Bo Nix, who I mentioned to you, I kind of like Bo Nix. He's got that, that I don't know. He's got a little toughness to him, that little grit, the edge. We saw him on the sideline a couple of weeks ago going right back at Sean Payton, rookie, going back at Sean Payton, right? Boy, he got legs too, bro. He got legs. He is not shy about taking off. This game, it was 10 carries for 75 yards. You know what I'm saying? He will take off on you in a heartbeat when everything breaks down. And he's had to do that a lot this season because I don't know where that the Broncos receiving core is. As a matter of fact, we talking about all these teams adding receivers. Peyton might need to get on the phone. He might need to get on the phone, man. But Bo Nix looked good, mainly with his legs, but he did what he had to do because Saints did manage to get a lot of pressure with the front four. And Javonte Williams had a pretty decent game. He got in the end zone, had a couple of nice runs, touched the end zone twice. And that's what it was. 33-10 was the final in that particular matchup. And I don't know if we could have expected much more for the Saints. I will say, though, I do feel sorry for Kamara, man. Because now Like last couple of weeks been brutal for Alvin Kamara. And you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't respecting nobody else on that team.
Yeah.
So we just gonna crowd it, send an extra safety in the box, linebacker to the outside. When he tries to catch it on one of those swing routes, whatever, we got it. Give him the rock, we got it. You know, but he did shut down the rumors the other day about him not wanting to be he's not asking to be traded. But yeah, I feel bad for Alvin, man.
Hey, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. I have never seen a team play 14 in the box though, so that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my man, fam in the house. We were talking about Tennessee earlier. He said Tennessee is the top pass defense as far as yards. Yep. He also says that the top passing defense. Oh no, the same thing. Yep. So yeah, there it is. Knew I saw something like that. And I mentioned, remember, I don't know if you were mentioning maybe about week 3 or so. I think I had mentioned how well that defense, the secondary, had performed. You know, through those first couple of weeks there. So they ain't got a lot going on, but they got a few things over in Tennessee. So we'll see how they treat Josh Allen today. What else do we got here? Oh, let's talk some good stuff, man. Let's talk some good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go into it. Let's talk about the NFC North.
So,
folks, have you heard about this division that is the most competitive in the league through 6 weeks, going in week 7? It's not, it's not the AFC South. It ain't the dirty. It ain't the NFC East. You see what I'm saying? And I was going to say it ain't the AFC East, but when has that been exciting? So, yes, it is the NFC North that is absolutely crazy right now. And if you haven't heard, if you haven't seen it, look at the records of these teams, right? If you can see that. Every team in this division in the NFC North has at least 4 wins, with Minnesota in first place at 5-0. Who would have thought?
Nobody. Because nobody would have considered that, one, if Minnesota would be as good as they are, and 2, Chicago would be 4-2. Now, of course, people are gonna say they ain't played nobody, all that good stuff. It don't even matter at this point because it's Chicago with a rookie quarterback, and you're looking at them starting off on a positive note. So one way or the other, they had 4-2 in the NFL. So you can't be mad at it.
Yeah, they started off slow. Everybody was dogging Chicago, and the rookie, the quarterback, it was a bust. They should have took, this. They should have found a way to get Jaden Daniels. All this, and all of a sudden, the past 2 weeks, granted, it hasn't been against the greatest competition, but you play who's on the schedule. The man's thrown 6 touchdowns over the past 2 games. And actually, it's funny how they got this line up, because I guess it's I don't know why they got it this way. But if we were to go and talk playoffs right now, and I know it's only week 7, 3 of these teams, Chicago included, as of today, would be in the playoffs. The Packers would be the team on the outside looking in, just outside looking in. If they started. So we would have 3 teams. No team has ever had 4 teams. No division has ever had 4 teams make the playoffs. But this is crazy. Don, what up, fam? But yeah, you think about this. Minnesota's Minnesota. We had our guy Rock on for the first time last week, and he let y'all know what it is with the Minnesota Vikings. But you all see it week after week. We know what Detroit about. Most people had Detroit not only winning this division, which they still may, but some people already had penciled them into the Super Bowl, right? We know how Green Bay finished the season last year, so people were expecting better things from them. But 4-2. Now, granted, there's only been one division game played right now. That was the matchup between Minnesota and Green Bay. Of course, Minnesota won that. And this could, if teams continue to win, this could stay this way for a while, Source, because when you go back and look at it, so this is week 7. So we don't get another division matchup between any of these teams for another couple of weeks. Week 9, the Lions go to Lambeau Field to play the Packers. And then we jump 2 weeks after that to week 11, where the Bears go to Lambeau to take on the Packers.
It's gonna get real.
Yeah, so this is crazy though. I don't care what week it is. You got past week 5, week 6. This whole thing is crazy. Especially look at Green Bay, lose their quarterback for 2 games, right? Still managed to hold it down. What did they go? I think 1-1 during that stretch.
And they could have won the first game.
And exactly, they could have won the first game. Mad impressive, man. I tell you what else is impressive. Looking at this, these standings right here. Once again, speaking about the Chicago Bears, that home record.
Hmm.
Yeah, at the Soldier, man, 4-0.
Thought I told you.
At the No Limit Soldier Arena, and they get busy. They are getting busy, man. So this is a beautiful thing to see, because being that by the time we get to week 11, there will have only been 3 division games. The last part of the season is going to be a madhouse, because instead of having all your division games spread out that you look back onto early in the season, we're going to start getting a whole glut of them towards the end of the season, which is going to totally shape the playoff race for these teams.
Yeah.
I'm confident in saying, and I'm sure most people are confident in saying, we know 2 of these teams is definitely getting the playoffs. And there's a possibility for 3 of these teams to get into playoffs. But this is wild, man. It's a beautiful thing to look at, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a good setup for the end of the season, because not only will it affect the division winner and who will be that second team to get in, it will affect every division in the NFC, because somebody's record got to drop. Somebody got to drop out, probably. So that'll leave an open space for somebody else to come up, and it may be from outside of the division. So it will be interesting to see.
You're setting it up for us to see what we see in a lot of years, with there being a team or maybe even 2 somewhere, whether it's in this division or outside of this division, just depending on how they take care of business outside of him, to be sitting at home, not get the wild card, and have a very respectable record.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Hate to see 11-6 at the crib. 10-7.
And somebody win their division with 7 wins.
Yeah.
Win their division with 7 wins.
Oh well.
Hosted a home playoff game and get somebody with a better record. They did get
a far better record.
Somebody got 10 wins and they traveling.
Yeah.
Somebody who won a division with 7. So
shout out to the Seattle Seahawks.
Man. And speaking of that division, though, that leads us right on in, my man, to, of course, in some people's eyes, the biggest game on today's football schedule. To me, there's 3 really fire matchups of this particular weekend in week 7. But this is number 1 on a lot of people's list, right there in that said division, where we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings, man. And yeah, I'm hyped. I'm definitely hype about this one, because I think it could shape up to be epic. I think in this one, man, I think the key is for Minnesota is to not let the bye week. Hopefully, bye week went positively for them, and they got the rest they needed, got the people back they needed. I did see that Aaron Jones is questionable, but he is gonna give it a go.
All right.
And then, of course, the Lions coming off the big win over the Dallas Cowboys, even though they had a downside. Something we hate to see them losing one of the very best defensive players in the game in Aiden Hutchinson. So I think it's going to be interesting. What about you?
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. Um, I thought Minnesota's defense was ranked higher than it is. So I thought it was, I don't for whatever reason, I don't know. Uh, I thought their defense was ranked higher. So I expected. First thing I was thinking is, are they going to be able to at least slow down Detroit and give themselves that advantage?
You can run on them a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's going. It might be. It might just end up being a fairly high scoring game, though. The thing that is the difference, which is obvious, like an obvious thing that we all saw happen a week ago. No Aiden Hutchinson. Good Lord, that is a that's going to be crucial. That's going to be crucial because he was the leader of the defense, and because of him, the other things that happened with the defense, especially up front, happened. Take him away, everybody's worse. Everybody's worse because you don't have to worry about doubling that guy. You don't have to put all your focus on that guy. So now somebody else gets the focus, and that means they become that much less effective. And then across the board, if nobody fills in and just
Facts.
plays way above their head, then what you gonna do? They should probably feel thankful that Aaron Jones is not 100%, because that could have been crazy. It could be crazy, and we don't know what he's really like, but we're guessing he's not 100%. He's still questionable as of this morning. So, but man, that's the only reason I'm leaning towards Minnesota with my pick. Well, that's the final reason. The probably the reason that I'm going with Minnesota. Yeah, because of that difference. That's the one glaring thing above everything else that I see. So, but I expected it to be a halfway decent scoring matchup. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Minnesota 20. Weird number. Minnesota 29, Detroit 25. How are we gonna get to 9-5? I don't know, but that's what we're going with. Minnesota 29, Detroit 25.
Yeah, I think this is gonna actually gonna come down to the running backs for me, because you mentioned you thought that Minnesota be ranked a little bit higher. They do a few things well. So they are
Mm-hmm.
actually pretty stout against the run and giving up less than 70 yards a game. But I saw a stat somewhere is inside the 30-yard line, while they're still holding people from scoring in a lot of instances. It's a weird stat, but inside the 30, they're giving up about 4.5 a carry. Right. So I think that's the key for the Lions to get inside that 30 and then do work, because we know they can run the ball. You know how they get down.
Oh yeah.
Get that ball to Gibbs, let them get the yards, and then they get in close and let Montgomery put that thing in the end zone. That's
Yep.
just how they live. You know what I'm saying? That's how they roll at the crib, right? But they're gonna be in Minnesota. I think with this one here, I always go back to my guy JJ. JJ has had some big games, at least yards wise, in his 8 games against the Detroit Lions, right? And I saw something that said through 8 games, he has like 60, I think it's 62 receptions for like 1,073 yards. They've managed to keep him out of the end zone a little bit. He's only scored 3 times, but he's getting those yards. Now, how many Minnesota games have we seen come down to, in some of these cases, even the past couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
in the last possession where they just needed to get in field goal range, or they just needed to do this. And I think this could be one of those games. Maybe we sitting somewhere with the Lions up somewhere, maybe, I don't know, funny score like 26-25 or something, and they get just inside the range, make a big play, the Minnesota to kick it and win it all. So I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings in this one, man. 28-26 in a well contested football game, man.
28-26. Got him.
This is what the fellas got. Don, he says 23-20. He is taking the Detroit Lions.
Cuzzo.
Yeah. I give it a second here to see if JB's still on, see if he want to give us a score. But yeah, man, but 5-0 against 4-1.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Pointing back to last week, real quick. We picked 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
Prime, Cuzzo, and I went 7-1.
I found it did good.
Wait, Pittsburgh won, right?
Last week?
Who did Pittsburgh play?
No, hold on. Steelers played last week. The Steelers played, was it the Raiders? No, that was a few weeks ago. Hold on. Now you got me thinking.
I don't know.
Let's look this up real quick.
Dang. Who did Pittsburgh play last week? Because the conversation of Russell Wilson coming in and starting came about, but they're 4-2. They won. So they won. They won because they were 3-2. Because they're 4-2. Yeah. So yeah, we went 7-1. JB went 6-2 because he took those Giants.
Oh no, I was right. Oh, and he got busy. It was the Raiders.
Oh, it was the Raiders. Oh,
yeah, it was the Raiders last week, 32-13.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 7-1, and then JB went 6-2. Rock went 4-0 as he left during the show, but he did go 4-0 on his picks. Man,
actually, he went 5-0 because I mean, you don't win if you don't play, because you know he was picked Minnesota.
True.
It was on a bye week, so. So that's gonna be interesting.
What was JB score?
JB might have popped in and popped out. He's not on, so if he pops back in, we'll go back and grab a score for him.
Okay.
Yep. So
that's all right. We just do 7-1 guys. That's all.
Yeah. So it was the Raiders last week, as the Steelers got the win. So very interesting game. Let me see. This one right here, bro. This one right here. I'm telling you, this is my favorite game. I mean, I understand that Lions and that Vikings thing is going to be something serious, but this right here, the Texans going to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers, who we were talking about earlier when we were discussing the NFC North, has got greatness written all over it, man. You got two really young quarterbacks playing well, two really young quarterbacks who have overcome adversity this year to have positive records. Texans sitting there at 5-1. The only blemish was the beat down to Minnesota. And of course, we discussed the Packers earlier, man. Are you as excited to see this game as I am?
This game will be crazy. I wish Nico was there, man. I wish
For sure.
And it would really, really be crazy. I still expect, again, a lot of points. I expect a lot of points. I don't think Green Bay is better, even though Green Bay is 4-2, and we know that Green Bay is good. I think Green Bay is actually better than people think they are. Like,
no question.
I think it's. I think we kind of just look at Green Bay like Jordan Love. Yeah, he all right. No, Jordan Love be lighting. He be lighting it up on a regular basis. But with them getting healthy at the wide receiver, and the way that offense is rolling, man, this is going to be good. The problem is going to be dealing with Joe Mixon, I think. I think dealing with Joe Mixon is going to be a problem today. We'll see, what Dell and Diggs, D&D Studio, what Dell and Diggs can do. I mean, I'm sure they'll put up, solid numbers, but I think it's going to be a Joe Mixon type day, and it's going to be a battle. But that Lambeau home field, I'm leaning towards it just a little bit in a shootout, another shootout. I actually have more points in this game than the last one. I got Green Bay 31-30 over Houston. Man, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you about Green Bay being way better than people give them credit for. And then some people would tell you that they know they were good because a lot of people actually had them the ones challenging Detroit for the division and not the Minnesota Vikings, of course, before we came into this season. But I'll say it for the third week in a row, maybe. Green Bay just a different team when number 10 is on the field. It's just what it is. You can say, well, if you're talking about a starting quarterback, no, you're a better team if your starting quarterback is the one playing, but being different. Green Bay just different when he's on the field, from everything to the passing game to the running game.
Reed is different for real.
Jaden Reed is I hate to say is my guy because he played for Green Bay, but there's a reason I always snatch this fool up in as many this year I snatched him up as in many fantasy leagues because I know he's that guy. Yeah. If he don't mess around and he be in a game and don't get but 5 touches the entire game, end up with a touchdown or 2. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they used him is crazy. He is dynamic. And I expect him to continue that trend even more if he can stay healthy as they chart towards getting a spot in the playoffs. Wide receiver, utility guy, the whole 9 yards. He even hand him the ball sometimes. So he does a lot. But what's crazy about Green Bay is the ways that they hit you because we've seen the Jaden Reed games. We've seen the Dontavian Wicks week. You know what I'm saying? Romeo messed around, gets suspended the week before last. Comes back last week and scores his first, not one, but also his second touchdown of the game, of the season. So they are just different. And then on the running aspect, when that is clicking, Josh Jacobs has really started to turn it up a little bit for them. And this is an area that if you're going to get at the Texans, I don't think they have been quite as strong versus the run as they were towards the end of last year. And I think that Green Bay is going to be able to move the rock, on both sides. But on the flip side, you mentioned Joe Mixon, man. And Joe Mixon, the Texans are a little bit different when Joe Mixon is on the field. True. You saw he did that comeback last week. And I think that is the key for the Texans to win this game because one thing you don't want to mess with, they got a couple of guys in that secondary in Green Bay. One of them, Jai Alexander. But they got a couple of guys in that secondary you don't want to mess with, period. Most inopportune times. And I think that Joe Mixon being able to run the rock will limit some of those pass plays that the Texans would have to attempt in this game, especially now with no Nico. You feel me? So still everything in me, I think would be the popular pick would still say that Green Bay would win this one at home with that offense, crafted tight end. I think I felt stronger all week that Green Bay would win it, but something just telling me, Mixon playing. And that's just going to be the deciding factor of shaping a lot of things that Green Bay would want to do or would have to do in a certain situation. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans 30-27.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, JB back in the house too. So I got you.
Cool.
So JB in this game, he got Green Bay 28-27. And he's got the Lions in the last game 31-28. And then Don has Green Bay 27-24. So he and I got 3-point games. It's just I got 3 more points on the win in the loss column.
And JB and I have 1-point games.
And I'm going to tell you what's funny. You guys are going to think that exact score that JB gave in that 28-27, I lied to you not. This game, I almost had, when I was this week, that was my score for this game.
Yeah.
And there's another game that we're going to pick later that at first, that was also my score for that game. So it's funny, 28-7.
Cuzzo said Green Bay though, right?
Green Bay, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
He got 27-24.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we got different teams, and then there's a sway. We got 3-point game on our end. Different teams and 3 points on the win and loss column for me.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's see what we got coming up next. What matchup is next on the schedule? Who we picking
next?
Oh, as we travel down to the land of nice cars, good music, and Magic City.
I already know what you was talking about before you said Magic City.
Good evening, players. Hey, we got the Seahawks taking on my man's Kirko Chains and the Atlanta Falcons, and it is going down. Another sneaky good game. I don't hold it as high regard as the three bangers we got. We didn't talk about two of them, but I still like this game. To me, it's all about what Geno shows up today. Because if we found out about the Atlanta Falcons is, even though Kirk has played well in a handful of games this year, they can also win when he ain't really lighting it up. You know what I'm saying? Especially the last couple of weeks, they've started to find that running game a little bit. Finally, the combo of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier together, I think they were over 200 yards rushing, I believe, something close to that number anyway. So they got busy, and I think that will be the key here today. So, do I love this game? I say I love it, but I really like it. I really like it. It's good.
Definitely a good game. It's definitely a good game. Seattle's coming off some frustrating, but they lost 3 in a row, right? Mm-hmm. They lost 3 in a row, so they're 3-3 off of 3 L's, and they got to travel east, or they had to travel east. To the east, my brother, to the east. We saw the frustration for Geno at the end of the last game. I don't want to jump the gun and say something ain't right over there, but once you lose 3 games, something ain't right. Like somebody ain't happy, and it looked like Geno ain't happy with what's going on with his receiving core, and I don't know what's up with Kenneth Walker. Maybe he's still a little injured, nicked up, maybe. Because
he's playing today. I was wondering, he was questionable this week too, but he's playing today.
He's definitely not the guy that we've seen in the past. So something ain't right with him physically. Going into Atlanta, I still think that Atlanta is better than another team that's better than most people think they are. Like you mentioned, Kurt, two-headed, I should say, running back combination. Not a bad receiving core, putting up decent numbers, and the tight end as well. Can't knock that. I'm leaning towards Atlanta in a close game. 24-20 Atlanta. It might be a little higher scoring than that, but I'm gonna keep it 24-20 Atlanta over here.
Yeah, I like Atlanta in this game, man. 28-24. I think they go out here and get busy. Whether it's Kirk putting a couple in the end zone or that running game getting it done, I think they can take real advantage of the Seahawks' inability to hold teams once they get inside the red zone. I think Kirk and them going to eat that up. I think it's going to go down today. I think a little bit later on this evening, if y'all headed that way, we'll see Kirk, Drake London, and Bijan at the VIP in the Magic City, living it up and having a good time after another victory. So that's what I'm rolling with, the ATL.
Living it up.
JB, 35-24, the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, sir.
Don, my man, 50 grand. Atlanta, 27-20. Either one of y'all in Atlanta? I'm going to fly out, save me a seat in the section. And I ain't talking about at the stadium. Yeah. They better have my lemon pepper, too.
That's your staple. Lemon pepper prime.
They hit different over there. They hit different. I would be willing to tell you that the lemon pepper is better than the entertainment. Sometimes. They don't think I'm crazy, but I'm just being real. No diggity, no doubt on that one right there. So
he said no diggity, y'all. No diggity. He didn't say no diggity. Just want y'all to be clear. I know.
Let's be clear.
Be clear.
Let's be clear. All right, what we got next, man? We got a lot of interest in this one right here. The Chiefs, in a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, are going to take on the San Francisco 49ers today. And granted, we know there are some things that we wish we could have had at this one. Definitely 49ers wish that this could have been the week that CMC could have come back. I know the Chiefs were hoping and wishing what went down with Rashee Rice never went down because that man was lighting it up. So that's going to definitely take a major weapon out. But it's still a big game nonetheless. Somebody's trying to continue what they do. The other team trying to get a little bit of get back, man. What you think?
Get back, man. Yeah, we got. I won't say a lot of missing pieces, but it's not 100% what we were looking for at the beginning of the season when thinking about week 7.
They robbed us.
We've been I was about to say we've been robbed.
We've been robbed.
We've been robbed. Stuck up without a gun. So I recently said that Kansas City was due for L because they're not playing great. They're not scaring anybody, but it's still.
We've seen this before, though. But yeah,
we've seen it before. It's still Kansas City. They're still the Super Bowl champs, and it's still Patrick Mahomes. So with all those things, you'd be like, yeah, they might not be looking great, but that just means that's more. That's probably worse for the future, knowing that they're not looking good and they're still undefeated. That's a problem. That is not a good thing. But as I mentioned previously, I was totally wrong because I said New Orleans was going to get upset. I believe traveling to San Francisco might be a little different animal, a little different. So I gotta, and it's not just because I know JB and Cuzzo are in here, but I gotta lean towards. I'm not even leaning towards. I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers to get the win, get some get back, even though it's not on the same level, and knock Kansas City from that 0 on the L side to a 1. So I'm going San Francisco. Ooh, I didn't really think about this, John. 26-23. San Francisco 26, Kansas City 23. And a fun game. It's going to be fun one way or the other, regardless of what happens. It's going to be entertaining. But I think they're going to get after Patrick Mahomes a little bit. And, of course, he'll still make a few plays here and there, regardless of the pressure. But I think they get to him a little bit, and things just don't go as smoothly as they usually do for Kansas City in the end.
Indeed. Yeah, look at, we've seen this before with, the Chiefs now. Granted, they're not doing a lot of things well. Offensive line is definitely not playing to the level that it played last year. Definitely right. At one of the guard and one of the tackle positions. They haven't been able to really bang and run the ball with Pacheco being out, even though I do like the addition of Kareem Hunt, who's had some plays here and there that he kind of looked like the old Kareem Hunt. They just haven't been consistent, right? So it's everything in this game, for the 49ers to be able to not only stay in it and to win it. I am looking forward to the matchup of whoever Trent McDuffie is going to be covering. You know what I'm saying? How the 49ers try to get Debo out in space. Is that going to be on the side of Trent McDuffie? That's going to be the fun part of this, watching this whole matchup. And then is it a close game? I really believe that the 49ers, when no lead is safe, really from the Kansas City Chiefs, especially if there's time on the clock. I still firmly believe that going into the fourth quarter, the Niners would need to find a way to get up by 2 scores. I don't care if it's 9 points. I really don't care if it's 8 points. I know that's a score at a 2-point conversion. They find a way. You just can't leave the door open for this offense. We already know they can look horrible for 3.5 quarters, but they don't need but one drive.
True.
Right. So very, very important. Take advantage of the fact that Kelsey hadn't gotten in the end zone yet this year.
Crazy.
So, yeah. It's kind of like with Kansas City, who's going to be the guy? We saw Juju get busy the other day, just getting there, and then got busy the other day, making some big plays for him. So I don't know, man. I think it's a tough one. Hopefully the Niners can stay healthy in this game. They got nicked up again. Mason got nicked up, and they had to bring in a couple other guys. So it's going to be interesting. But I'm still going to stick with Kansas City in this one. Surprise. And I think they had something like an ugly score. Maybe a 25. How they going to get to 25? I don't know, but I can see it. And they beat the 49ers 25-22. That's what I'm going to do.
25-22. That's what Prime going to do.
Mm-hmm. We got the fellas. JB got his Niners winning 30-28. No, I'm sorry. That's Cuzzo. Don got it 30-28. JB got the Niners 24-21.
I ain't have to write San Francisco by their name because we already knew.
Hey, fellas, y'all did see. So Mason is playing, right?
I was actually wondering the same thing.
I know either Don or JB, they know. Yeah, I think I'm trying to see is Mason playing in this game. I didn't see where he was going to be out, but I know it was some question. And they brought in.
He there.
He there?
He
playing?
doesn't have an injury designation anymore.
Mama there? He there? Yeah. Okay. Everybody in the house, other than CMC. But hey, that's what they need. No Jennings. So they got Ayuk and Debo over there. But yeah, I want to see how stuff go down. Could you imagine, man, if I think about it all the time, if this particular year, if L'Jarius Sneed had still been on that team?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And have those two guys back there manning the corners. I'd have loved to see that again. Yeah,
Lock it down.
But he's over there, as we mentioned earlier. As I mentioned earlier, I guess he one of the reasons that the Titans over there locking it down defensively on them receivers, right?
Right.
So
it's only right.
No doubt. Let's see what else we got here.
Nah.
Keys was good. Let's see. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. We were talking about the receivers. Don said Pearsall was supposed to make his season debut today too. The young man finally gets to get on the field. Perfect spot too. Perfect time. Perfect spot. So we'll see how he gets there. They expecting big things. Now you were talking about earlier. You were talking about the top trios. I don't want to put the up for the horse, but I'm just saying if this guy was to pan out the way they think he's gonna pan out,
right?
In a year or so, and then they still got Ayuk and Debo over there. That could be a problem. I kind of have a feeling that this Pearsall dude gonna ball out at some point. I like him.
But the top 4 receivers.
Oh man. Woo.
We ain't go that far.
I ain't trying to see it, bro. I ain't trying to see it. So we gonna see it. Let's see what we got here. So next up.
The salary cap on top of my dollar. You got that song in my head now. I'm stuck.
We got the Jets and the Steelers going at it today. We talked about Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets getting a new member to the family. They want to do some big things now, but we have the Steelers at 4-2 in a crazy position because we find out that I guess Russ is going to start, but they saying both quarterbacks might play. What do you think?
Is Russ going to start?
I'm seeing so much. That's what I'm seeing now. And they were showing this picture earlier on the NFL Network, so I don't know. Tomlin tell us that and Fields started the game and then Russ come in. I don't know, but they were saying that Russ was going to start, so we're going to see.
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what it says. This Jones, it's going to be interesting. I thought this story had more bite earlier in the week, and then it kind of died off. This is whatever way this game goes, there's going to be blame on the quarterback more than even usual. It's going to be blame. If the Steelers lose, why you start Russ? If the Jets lose, Aaron Rodgers is now the head coach, and he got his man there. So why they ain't win? It's going to be crazy, over the top blame on the quarterback, and maybe that's what it'll come down to. It's going to be a good game, though. I expect, believe it or not, the Jets to get out this thing with a dub, put up a couple points, even though Pittsburgh has a quality defense. I do think that I think I know you said they got to get off the rust and all that. I don't think it's gonna be no rust. If there's rust, it's just Rusty Rogers or Russ Wilson, but that's different. If it's rust, then I just think it's gonna be Rogers being a little slow with the trigger. But I'm expecting the Jets to go ahead and handle business for real. I really am. I wish the Jets had made the move before last week. If they could have got Davante in there for that Buffalo joint, and it was already a close game, but that would have been a nice beginning to that relationship.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm going Jets. I expect Rodgers to look all right. Rodgers gonna look all right. I'm going Jets 26-19. No,
And me,
24-19. I'm sorry, 24-19.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Jets 23-17 in this one. And then maybe they started to put some points together, some points on the board, as you mentioned. Crazy stat was they showed through 6 weeks the Jets have scored 113 points, which is the exact same total they were at last year with Zach Wilson.
Ain't that crazy? That's just to make you shed a tear.
Yeah, so this is going to be very interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Jets 23-17 in this one, and this will get them up to 3-4. And then we're here on the Pittsburgh side. Was it the right move?
Yeah.
Was it the right move? Like, I mean, I know that what's the name wasn't lighting it up. Fields wasn't lighting it up, but they were winning. It's just Russ wide. So, and I hate that for us. That's the bad part about it. But they lose this game. I really dislike this for this man, but it is what it is.
Definitely getting all that.
The best scenario, at least, is for him to have a decent game statistically.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fields had a few weeks ago in the loss. You feel what I'm saying? Have a decent game statistically, at least. They lose, they lose, but he ain't out there, looking bad.
Looking crazy.
Yeah.
Looking like Denver Russ.
Let's see what this got. JB got the Steelers 28-21.
Oh, okay.
Don has the Steelers 20-17. Matter of fact, he says the Steelers D take one to the crib.
Oh, that's that A-Rod smacking.
Hey, I try to tell you, JJ coming. I'm telling you, JJ coming. And the pride of them Jets, the Jets having protecting Aaron Rodgers.
Shemans.
3 sacks for JJ Watt today.
Or TJ.
I mean TJ Watt. TJ.
I know.
I'm getting all excited with my guy. Man.
JJ get a sack. We really doing something.
Hey, the way the Jets offensive line been playing, he might.
He could.
Get a sack from the living room, bro. What are you talking
about?
What are we talking here? He can go that 2.5, 3 sacks from a man, TJ Watt today.
2.5 sacks. Maybe even 3.
Maybe 3. 2 games left on the schedule for us today.
Word.
And next one is the third, in my opinion, banger. It's probably number 3 of the top 3 that we talked about earlier. For me, my personal list, number 1 would have been the Packers, the Texans, Packers. And then for me, number 2, which is probably number 1 on most people's list, would have been the Lions in Minnesota. But this Ravens Bucs game right here, bro,
man.
Monday Night Football. We got 2 Monday nighters tomorrow. But this one right here, your boy Lamar, who didn't turn it up a notch, playing like a MVP. He got a running back playing like an MVP. And they go over to take on the 2 hot Bucs. Your man's 50 grand. Well, he ain't your man's 50 grand. But Baker Mayfield in a matchup with the first pick and the what were they? Oh, with the first pick and the last pick of the 2000. What were they drafted? 2018. Yeah, I think it was Lamar.
Who was the last pick?
Hold on. Heisman Trophy winner.
You talking about Baker, right?
Yeah. I had to go back and look that up. Somebody looked that up. Man, let me look it up. The draft. One thing, the first. Hold on. That might be just me. This might be spinning. But anyway, when we talk this game, I'm gonna look it up. But I feel like it was the first pick. They were the first pick and the last pick in that draft. But hold on. Anyway, it's a great matchup going down on Monday Night Football. And your man, Derrick Henry, has 8 rushing touchdowns already. That's more than 26 other teams in the league have on their squad total. Crazy work by the MVP candidate to this point, man. What you think about this?
Man, this is going to be good. It's going to be great, as a matter of fact. I can't deny what Tampa Bay's been doing offensively. And last week, I mean, it went crazy. Like we just saw Denver put up 33 on the Saints. So we like, where's the Saints at this point? Without I guess Derek Carr, without anybody, but Spencer Rattler, aka what somebody said Spencer Rattler looked like the Patrick Mahomes, who would play Patrick Mahomes in a movie about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I was like, that is crazy and also true. That's wild. That's wild. But as much better as I think Baltimore is than most teams, including Tampa Bay, even on the road, the part about Baltimore that worries me is their inconsistency sometimes, and I don't understand it. Even when you look at the Cincinnati game that they eventually won, you're still looking around like, why is this a game? Why does Derrick Henry have 30 yards going into overtime? Something stupid like that. I don't understand it. But against my own better judgment, I'm rocking with Tampa Bay, though. I feel like Tampa Bay gonna get these people. Dog. In a shootout. Shootout week. Apparently it's shootout weekend. 35. 30. No, I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna say it at first. 38-35.
Go ahead. Say it.
Tampa Bay 38-35.
This was the game that I had the 28-27 score in. And I was telling you about earlier initially.
Gotcha.
And then I decided to think about it some more because I'm saying, well, it's gonna be the ball will have to be put in the air. I know the Bucs have, found a little bit of a running game with their second and third receivers. Running backs that they started the season with. But I think that I can see Baker putting the ball in the air a lot. A lot of chances for Godwin and Mike Evans. Mike Evans definitely looking to bounce back. So I'm gonna take the Bucs 35-30. That's why I was when you said 35. I was like, come on, yeah, you gonna say it. 35-30. And I looked it up and I was correct. I knew it was on my mind for something. So in the 2018 draft, Baker Mayfield was the number 1 pick. Lamar was the 32nd pick. So this one features the first and last pick of the first round. They both were Heisman Trophy winners if we talk about similarities. Also the same draft that Buffalo took Josh Allen. And then there was another quarterback taken at 10. Is he even still in the league? Josh Rosen. So, yeah, so the Arizona. So we know he ain't the starting quarterback in Arizona. But anyway, crazy. And if I remember correctly, that's also the draft when we got 2 pretty good guys in the draft on the defensive side of the ball. That was the same draft that Derwin James and Jair Alexander came in as well. So nice draft for the most part. So, let's see. Keys wants to know. Let's see. Is that considered an upset with the Bucs over the Ravens?
That's a fair question. I
Indeed.
think I think people will act like it's crazy to think that Tampa Bay would win, and if Tampa Bay wins, they're gonna act like, oh, Baltimore ain't this, ain't that. No, Tampa Bay's good, and they're at the crib. Baltimore is great to me, but more inconsistent. So I think they just get caught. Wow, wow.
Yeah. So that's crazy. Yeah, well we did that is a win. Because we can't lose.
You're right. I said the same thing last week, so I can't be mad at it.
Interesting. What the fellas got? The fellas got JB got the Bucs 36 to 32
Man,
points.
we are all tripping.
Don 31 to 30. The Baker and the boys.
Wow, we are all wilding right now.
31 to 30 with Baker and the boys. Shout out to my other cousin, family in the house. I will say this, but a heck of a week or so for New York sports.
I know.
Go Yankees.
I'm about to say how many cousins you got, but I know you got like 8,000, so it's cool.
Yeah, so. Well, yeah, my one cousin Todd checked in last week to talk about the skins. He ain't checked in ever, but he want to talk about them skins all of a sudden.
Hey, they funny.
Back with the Yankees, so
they funny, and they just be pulling up, probably like, hey. That's how my wife is.
Let's see what we got. And that's our next game right there. Cardinals and Chargers. I already got the score up there. Don, we put it out there. He said the Cardinals and Chargers will be the first game to end in a tie at 17 to 17.
I love it. I love it. I love a tie prediction. I'm not mad at it at all.
Man, that is all right. That is all right. What do you think about that game, man? Chargers and Cardinals. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't even know who to pick. Who I really wanted to pick in this game, to be honest with you. Because every time I think the Cardinals gonna light somebody up, they mess around and struggle to score 17 points.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then the game I think that they're gonna struggle a little bit today, then they're gonna go score 34. So I don't even know. You know, Chargers did surprise me. This surprised me the other week. So I'm gonna take the Chargers in that game. I'm gonna take the Chargers 20 to 16.
You said it with a question mark.
Yes, with a question mark. Yeah, put that beside.
20 to 16.
If I win, I get a half a point for that too. Extra half.
Man, this young, both these teams frustrate me. I can't trust Arizona, dog. I can't trust Arizona. If they're not playing the Eagles on the last week of the regular season, I can't trust them. So, am I still mad? I might be. I might be still bitter.
Can't trust it.
No. Give me the Chargers. 27 to 17. No, 27 to 10. Can't trust it.
All I see is Flavor Flav now. That's what's crazy. Which I had the old graphic of the old Arnold Schwarzenegger. Go Chargers, go. Who we got? JB, the Chargers 19 to 18. See, that's what I'm talking about. I like an ugly score. I like an ugly score to work potentially be an ugly game.
Hey, look, Cuzzo, if Arizona win, you win. We just because we all picked the Chargers. We just gonna give you that joint. If Arizona win, you win.
If that joint be 17-17, that's gonna be even crazier, right?
I like that score.
I think it is a big workload coming for J.K. Dobbins, though. They're real banged up in that backfield. So J.K. gonna get that rock a lot in this one. That just might be what does it. Even though the Cardinals, I did get good news. They're getting Harrison Jr. back.
Amen.
Yeah, so that's big on them. That's the games that we got, man. The only other things to look at in this today is it's a few things floating around the league, a couple of quick things. One of them, of course, is your boys taking on the Giants. So Saquon on to the crib. Y'all gonna run up the people's chest today or what, man?
Man,
is he gonna run up the people's chest?
We're gonna lose this game, and I'm gonna have to retire from social media for like 3 days or something. Actually, I wouldn't even retire because I expect us to lose. I expect the Eagles to lose this game. Saquon might have 200 yards. I don't know. But when it says Giants 24, Eagles 18, I'm not going to be surprised. Just know that. I'm not going to be surprised.
That's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting in that one. What else we got?
I'm disgusted.
Shout out, hey, good news, man. Shout out to Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb makes his return today against the Cincinnati Bengals. So we definitely watching that. We don't know how many times he's gonna get the rock. They said they're gonna ease him back in. When they said they're gonna ease him back in, that usually means he's gonna get 15 to 20 touches anyway. So he evidently needs to get back out there. So that would be the thing, man. You talking about a victory. If he could come out there and get busy, Nick Chubb come out there and get busy after that gruesome injury. And also in this game, because we mentioned earlier about Deshaun Watson not having a 200-yard passing game this year. Your boy Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, is 1-5 in his career against the Cleveland Browns.
Well, lucky for them.
Go.
Lucky for them, it's this version of the Cleveland Browns. So he be all right. Joe Burrow about to throw 4 touchdowns.
Hey, my cousin said you can't do that. He said, "Come on, Source." He said we can't both be hating against the Eagles today. So you picked it.
Hey, look, I'm gonna make it better for you, Jay. How about I just tell you that the Dodgers will see you in a couple days, and then later smack it down. How about I say that, and that'll we pretend that's even.
Dodgers gonna make it happen. We'll get there. That's what the world wants to see. The landscape, the networks, the game itself.
Do they though?
They want of what's left. They, especially since the Yankees have made it. Yankees, Dodgers.
Subway Series, or?
I think the Yankees Dodgers would outweigh New York would love to see a Subway Series again, again, and it'd be a big course. It's gonna do numbers regardless. And I think it would be a heck of a matchup if the two of them were to play each other, especially the way the Mets have just that never say die, and then get a few runs in a hurry type mentality, grand slam, single, double, bring in 2 runs. That would definitely be awesome. But the MLB outside of New York, the landscape of baseball, they want to see the national appeal. They want to see the Yankees and Dodgers, and I'm here for it.
I said national for the international audience, for real.
Indeed. It's heavy on both sides, don't it? Yeah, that's heavy. Jay said, I need a Subway Series. We didn't play good after, what's that, place rides? What? Place rides? We don't play good after play ride? I ain't catch that, Jay.
Plane rides, maybe. Plane
rides. Plane rides. Okay. Y'all do good after train rides? Or no, I can say take the bus, right? I got to take the bus, right?
Y'all good in traffic?
I'm cool. I'm cool with either one. Shout out to our guy Jawan. I know he's rooting for his Mets. So I talked to him a couple of times over on Twitter. So Jay said drive the car.
Jawan's somewhere crying right now after the Patriots this morning.
Yeah. I see my guy Jawan. I think he over there posting, but I don't think he threw in the towel on that one. So I think he talking about superhero stuff this morning. Penguin and all that, because I know he hurting. And it looked like the Patriots was going to do something around about the first quarter. Drake May look good going down there. And what's the album? All Things Fall Apart. What is it?
Things Fall Apart. The Roots.
Things Fall Apart. Yeah, Things Fall Apart. And that's what happened.
See what had happened was.
I just want the Yankees. Why y'all hating on the Yankees, man? Y'all hating on the Yankees, man.
Who want the Yankees to lose?
Keys.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, he ain't alone though. I know how people feel about it. Some people like if you ain't a Yankees fan, you like them or you hate them. They're not my squad per se, but I've always had much respect for them. So I won't be in that boat. But if the Yankees don't win the World Series, social media gonna be crazy.
Prime, do you know how much?
They win it, but they definitely gonna be crazy if they don't win it.
Do you know how much money I could save if I really?
Geico? Oh.
No, I got Geico already. It don't save a thing. It ain't saving nothing. If I jumped off the ledge and took the Giants defense, the Giants defense is 3,200 on FanDuel. 3,200. If I really believe in my heart that the Giants are going to handle the Eagles, even if they just don't get blown out, even if they just don't let them put up 30, which the Eagles getting 30 would be a miracle in itself. But if I really believe that, I could take them and get me a nice running back to go with Jordan Love. Oh my gosh, it could be something. I ain't gonna do it though. Do it for the vine. I ain't gonna do it, but it sounds good.
You ain't playing Jaden Daniels today?
Jaden Daniels is $9,100. You know what, Prime? You know what?
They playing Carolina, right?
Prime. Yeah. If I push this button, because I got $400 left, and $400 is the difference between Jordan Love and Jaden Daniels. If I push this button, y'all my witnesses. I'm gonna need my $3 back. If Jaden Daniels go out the game early because they up 31-0 and he only threw one touchdown, I'm gonna need my $3 back, Prime.
Well, his legs gonna pay off, so his legs gonna pay off. They playing Carolina, man.
Y'all see it? Look. Y'all might not be able to see
it. You got 2 minutes.
It's saving my lineup. There it is, y'all. There it is. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see it.
Not that I don't think Jordan Love.
I
think Jordan busy. But no, I took Jaden Daniel. The only thing I have Jordan Love in is a couple of my fantasy spots so that I don't have Jaden. They're like long league fantasy. I mean Jordan Love. I got I got 3 FanDuel lineups today. They're all Jaden Daniel. With different mixtures elsewhere, you know. I think I got Jaden Daniel, and in all 3 of them, I do have McLaurin in all 3 of those. Everything else is a mixture. Mixture is different.
You know what, Brian? No. If I'm gonna do that, then I might as well do this. Giants defense, huh? I might as well do it.
Hopefully, you can outscore the points they're gonna give up. Too bad that Saints Denver game couldn't have been today. I'd have been riding that Broncos defense.
That would have been perfect.
Everybody who understands fantasy football, so all the leagues, there's a lot of leagues that I have the Broncos defense. Well, that was the easiest 21 points I'd never get. Look, you can afford to have a bad day from a quarterback or something that when in the defense, you had 21 points. 21, fact. Fantasy points, I say that.
That's a fact.
And we right on kickoff, but we can't get out of here, man. We got to go on and talk about Game 5, bro. Game 5 is going down tonight in the WNBA Finals. So that's how we're gonna wrap this thing up. And what a series this has been, man. Oh my goodness. Like no blowouts. Somebody get the lead, another team claws back. That team take the another team claws back. The grit, the pushing, it's all there. Reminiscent of some good basketball to me back in the 90s and 2000s for the most part. It has been fabulous. And all I can say about it is I feel physically, psychologically, all over for the squad who does not win this. It's going to be a terrible thing, man. It's going to be a great thing for the team that wins it. It's going to be a terrible thing for the team that lost it because all of the opportunities that were there for you in one game or another to possibly put this thing away. But I know you didn't enjoy this series, man. So what you thought about it so far?
First of all, I thought you were quoting Stephanie Mills for a second. I feel good all over. That's what I thought she was doing.
No, but if the Liberty win, I probably sing "I Never Knew Love Like This Before."
fair,
We never had it.
fair enough. Fair enough. Look, y'all know if y'all care. Y'all probably don't know or care, but my favorite player is Brianna Stewart. But if New York loses Joan, though, bro, if New York loses Joan, she gonna have to take this one on the chin for real. She gonna have to take this Joan on the chin. She balled out a couple games though. That's not to get it twisted. She has balled out, but Naja balled out. Man, Phoebe's got busy.
That's one of the ones on my squad, right? I'm
Busy.
Peoples. Yeah.
For real. She got busy last game. And John Quell got busy as well. But it's like they all haven't gotten busy on the same night. They all haven't gotten busy on the same night to handle this thing and put Minnesota away. Watching Minnesota, it's just good to see them. They're a fun team to watch. A balanced offense, unselfish, pretty much like the leader of the team. They're unselfish. They go hard on both ends of the court. They got some dogs. Like you heard Courtney talking about she and her Birkin because she had 12 in the second quarter. She was in her Birkin bag.
How you do bag with the Birkin?
How do you do I mean, I get it. You're trying to get all the eyes and do everything you can do, but you asked me 4 or 5 questions going into halftime. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
While we're walking, that's a lot of questions. Like that seems like overkill to me. I think that's
every game in the final.
That is crazy, but it is what it is, and you got to do things differently when you're the WNBA in comparison to other leagues. Man, I don't even know what it's coming down to. I haven't made a prediction all series. I didn't make one at the beginning. I don't think you did either. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to pick this game. All I'm going to do is say it's going to be like that. Y'all better watch it. I'm telling you. Well, you don't have to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But I'm going to be in front of the TV. That's going to be primary thing that I'm watching tonight.
Beautiful, because it's tonight. That's beautiful. So we ain't got to contend with the, not that I don't like 3:00 games. I'm all for it, but it's the finals. It's it. Let's get that 8:00 thing pumping.
Yeah.
Prime time, and let's get into it. Let me talk about.
You looking like somebody scored already.
Cleveland has ran back a kickoff, but Cincinnati's ran back a kickoff on Cleveland. The opening. Yeah. But this series, man. All I'm gonna say, I need you. I know that's my squad, but I need to call your peoples, man. I need you to call your peoples and get her on the phone, because it's not just about this series. It is now, but I've seen her come up short a lot this year. And it's funny saying that because they didn't lose but a handful of games, right?
And she was third in the MVP vote.
Yeah. But man, I don't know if you saw these numbers in this series. And I can expect teams or players to have a bad game, maybe a bad 2 games. But bro, it's like under pressure. It's been a kryptonite. Like, so you go back to this series. So what they call clutch during clutch time. You know what they specify as clutch time?
What
they give you those stats?
Yeah, let me know. I don't know.
So it's clutch time is classified in the league as has to be be 5 minutes or less in a basketball game. So it's got to be in the fourth quarter, or it has to be in overtime. And the score has to be 5 points or less when certain things occur. During the finals, Stewie has 2 points. She's 0 of 12 on field goals. She is 0 of 9 when she's contested. And she's 0 for 6 against Collier. Yeah. A lot of O's in there, a lot of zeros, I should say. But
and she started out 0-7, 0-7 last game.
bro, that is hurt. It kills me and it hurts me. Even if you having the worst game of your life in one of these games, if you can hit just one of those buckets, all might be forgiven. It's been a couple of them that it was very lightly or not contested. I'm sitting like, and I hate it for her because she is so likable. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I love Brianna Stewart. She is so likable, and to see her try to contain herself when you know she's clearly frustrated, and what may be going through her head right now, as we've gotten to this point, when she's already, I don't want to say she's rattled, but she's not able to put in stuff that she normally makes.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that don't end up turning on her tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like that the moment just ends up being too big, because I need two things to happen. I need two things to happen. One of two things. Either she shake it all off, give us that magical performance that we've been waiting for, and we can forget everything else, or she just not be, or she doesn't have to necessarily totally be the person, but plays well. And if that means that, you know, that Brina or John Quell or Phoebus down the stretch, Lord knows Phoebus been balling. You know, what a fan they got in Phoebus. I think she's gonna be in New York for a while. Carry them over the hump. I'm fine with that. She don't have to be the hero, but a heroic performance would be crazy. You know?
That would be poetic. That would be poetic.
She don't have to be. Yeah.
But the thing that I do appreciate is that she hasn't gone outside of herself, because she's her and Kalia are both super unselfish.
Yeah.
So she's still not going to make the wrong play just because. She's not going to just jack up shots just because she can, and ain't nobody going to say nothing. So she's still going to make the extra pass. She's still going to set that pick, and she's still going to play defense. She's still going to do all the little things that add up to being one of the greatest of all time. But yeah, I need her to go ahead and be like, look, everybody get out the way. Just get out the way. I don't care if she is the defensive player of the year. She's going to get these buckets tonight. I would love to see that.
Yeah, man. I think, like I said, if New York loses this, it'll be 2 years in a row, and this one that they can look back easily on 1 to 2 plays of what might have been the difference. Just plays. We ain't talking about the whole quarter. Yeah, we just talking about 1 or 2 plays, you know. And then I'm sure Minnesota could feel the same way. And while it would be heavy on them, and to them it's just as bad as what happened in New York, it's probably not as bad, you know. It's based on everything that New York is facing, you know. Didn't win it last year, didn't win it this year, you know. And then they got 2 free agents, unrestricted free agents. Stewie is one, which, I mean, you never know what's in somebody's heart, but I don't see how she's not in New York next year. And the other one, of course, is Vandersloot, but and they'll protect them because, you know, with the Valkyrie coming, you can protect free agents, unrestricted free agents, and what are your core, your 6. So I think they'll be fine if it comes down to that. But, you know, not necessarily saying that they have to retain Vandersloot, but, you know, there's some other pieces they could get. But yeah, I just think, man, it could be devastating for the New York Liberty not winning this series. I feel like with New York, not saying they couldn't come right back next year, but I think this would be more devastating to them than it would be to Minnesota as a franchise. Because the way they brilliantly built this thing, they could turn around. I could easily see this team turning around and coming right back.
Mm-hmm. So you could say that based on the teams right now, and you could say that based on historically, because New York ain't got none. Minnesota got 4, right?
Yeah.
So
your window, man, your window. I mean, everything came back for you at the right time. You were wondering how healthy you were going to get Benaja Laney back, and she's not been healthy. They were limiting her to spots 5 to 10 minutes, and they've kind of turned her loose the last game to just let her play. And my girl has responded, man, on the offensive side of the board, man. You know, and I got much love for her. that is my favorite Liberty player. But well, John Quell too. I always been a John Quell John Quell fan, even when she was, over there with the old girl and them. But yeah, it's man, they cannot they cannot New York cannot let this go because this is man, it's too close.
And
Too
they at the
close.
crib. And they at the
At
crib.
the crib.
All the
Surely feeling like they should have won that game. Felt like they probably feel like they should have won that game the other night, and I agree. And I totally agree. Minnesota probably feel like they should have won. What was it, game 2, which they could have. But New York, ask anybody, they probably would say they felt like New York should have won that game the other night. And it just wasn't there. So very interesting. I'm not gonna pick it either. Who's gonna win it. I just hope that New York, for my sake, didn't miss that window of opportunity. But if they do win it tonight in New York, man, it's about to be lit up over there, man.
Definitely. Got the world.
Hey, you can better tell Knicks fans nothing. Oh, they won it. Shoot, it's our time. New York, stand up.
Yep. Exactly. They
parade. You laugh because the amount. I want to see who's gonna be in the crowd tonight because the amount of NBA players has been at these games, and of course, a lot of the celebrities that attend Knicks games have been at some of these games. So I'm gonna be anxious to see that crowd tonight. See who's actually out there in the house tonight. So,
and maybe they'll leave Spike Lee alone.
Yeah. Leave Spike alone, man.
Leave Spike alone.
Leave Spike. Hey, last thing, do you think? How'd you feel about the officiating in the last game? I know you heard Sandy's Brandello's comments. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not trying to be a homer on this, but I did kind of feel that way in the game. I thought this is the only game that I felt like when I watched the game the other night that I'm not saying it's intentional, but the foul calls, especially in the second half, seem a little lopsided to me. It looked like to me New York had gotten, probably 2 or 3 foul calls that are either questionable or really light, right? But then they got called against them. New York did. But then on the flip side, there was some obvious stuff I thought down the stretch that they couldn't even get a look from the ref. I think New York should have still, despite all that, still should have won the game.
Right.
But I'm just saying, it did look a little lopsided to me.
See, I heard her say it after the game.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that. Like, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I just didn't feel that. I didn't think about it. It never crossed my mind until I heard her say it in the post-game press conference. But I just thought New York kind of tricked the game up themselves.
Oh, they tricked it up. There's nowhere around it. They didn't get the foul calls that they wanted, and still should have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope we get a well officiated game tonight, and then everything is on even keel, and let these ladies go at it. So much respect to whoever wins it, even if we don't win it. Much respect to Minnesota because that's a heck of a story. My girl McBuckets and them, and heck of a way to really come out to the people who didn't know Courtney Williams, And so it's just crazy. So, but it's gonna be great. I can't wait for 8:00, man. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, what you got for the people, man?
I ain't got nothing for the people, man. TikTok hating. My last 3 videos that I put effort into, them joints ain't even hit 200 views. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, let's not be crazy. Like, this is like 33,000 is not a lot in the grand scheme. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot, but it's not a lot in the grand scheme. But 33,000 people and 200 see a video, that's ridiculous to me. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I know y'all want people to pay for views and all that. I get it. It's a business. Everything's a business, but they doing too much. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's why I don't mess with it as strong because I'm already impatient doing my stuff. That must just frustrate me. I think you got a little more patience than I got, so I can't do it. But it's gonna be a glorious day of football. A lot of good things have already popped off. Minnesota Vikings have already scored. Yep, 7-0.
Aaron Jones almost took him out of my lineup just at the last second. Just want to know. I didn't.
AJ is back, so we're gonna see. But appreciate y'all rocking with us. You know, we here just about every Sunday, usually around 11-ish or after, depending on what we got going on. So come back if you want to be a guest on the show. Tap on into the SBP over on Facebook for those of you that are watching on other other social network platforms like YouTube and so forth. So but we out. We catch y'all next time. Peace.